What's up, my pilots? Angry Poncho here. We're playing Peggle again. Today we are joined by Eva.
Hello.
And we finished the story mode last time, so we are on to... I guess these are the... the music is... It stopped me every time because I'm just like, oh, right, it's just the first three notes. We don't get to hear the rest until much later.
Caught me so off guard.
Same. We're playing the challenge levels now. And there's an ass load of them, so don't expect me to get through all of them. I haven't even beaten some of them. Look at that. A double spooktacular. Holy shit.
Whoa. Just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, just in time for it to be November 1st when we record this.
See, you were supposed to say it was Halloween when we recorded
Oh,
this.
you're right. It is still Halloween, isn't it?
It is Halloween.
In Australia, maybe. No. I don't think that's how that works.
Pretty sure Halloween, Australia is the only place that's further ahead than I am in time zone.
That's true. Yeah, that's right, because they get stuff. They're one of the first time zones that people live in.
Yeah, that's why you set your Steam to Australia so you can unlock games quicker.
What are you doing playing games that are coming out like recently?
That's true.
I don't need to be in Australia to download Fallout New Vegas.
It's very true. Although when it comes to games I've been playing recently, it's like recent games that have recently come out. I don't know actually.
You just forgot.
I think well, it's not that. It's just I don't know what's the most recent game I've played. Like I've been playing Lost Judgment a bunch on Steam.
What is Lost Judgment?
Lost Judgment is Lost Judgment is the sequel to a game called Judgment that released on PS4 like 2018, I want to say. And it's a spin-off of the Yakuza series, if you've ever heard of that one.
Yes, I know the Yakuza series.
Follows a detective instead of an ex-Yakuza member. But the reason I've been playing them so much is that they were essentially locked to PlayStation for the longest time.
Oh, now they're on Steam?
The rest of this, what's that?
And now they're on Steam?
Yeah, now they're on Steam.
I'm still waiting for Horizon Zero Dawn 2 to get its PC port announced.
Oh yeah, the first game came to Steam, didn't it?
Yeah, it only took a few years after it came out, too. I'm hoping that the only on PlayStation nature of the second one will be fleeting as well.
Can before that though, can we have Bloodborne on PC? Thanks.
Oh, that would be great. I would love to play Bloodborne at more than 30 FPS.
Right? Like, oh, disappointing. But
Gets you every time.
what? There it is.
Yeah, when I went back through the Dark Souls series and I did all of those videos on the first Dark Souls, and it was like, that was cool, and I really enjoyed it. I'm playing the remastered version. And then I played the remastered version of 2, and that was great. But then I went to play Dark Souls 3, and it was like, oh my god. I either have to get this thing running on my computer, which at the time didn't have a very good graphics card in it, or play it on the PS4 or something at 30 FPS, and it was just like, oh god. It was literally making me motion sick and giving me headaches. I was like, I can't play at 30 FPS on a Dark Souls game. I've gotten too used to it.
Right? Yeah. Just I can't play Bloodborne is my favorite FromSoft game, like by far.
It might be mine too, although the first Dark Souls was definitely up there.
Sure, but for me, Bloodborne is just my favorite FromSoft game. But it's my favorite FromSoft game to talk about and think about playing, but not actually playing, because of the 30 FPS cap. It's just
Yeah.
Like, they even made it playable on PS5, but
What do you
they
mean
didn't upgrade
playable?
it.
Like they ported it, or?
Like you can you can holy shit. uh yeah, you can play it on PS5. It wasn't like a native port, but it's just,
Oh,
you
the
can
game, the
run this
PS4
game.
game just works in the PS5.
Yeah, it just works. Which I'm not sure.
The music gets you every time, doesn't it?
I don't know why. It's just the fact that it's cut off.
Like that's it. Yeah.
Anyway, where was I? Right. With
You're saying that Cooking Mama 2 is your favorite Dark Souls game.
you're right. There's a second one?
It's way better than the first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was talking to a Cooking Mama lore expert.
I only know I only know of the existence of Cooking Mama because Jaden Animations did a air quotes speed run of it.
So you mentioned watching the first two Halloween movies very recently.
Yes, I watched
Finally.
Halloween and Halloween 2. And then my understanding is that Halloween 3 is like the ultimate black sheep movie and has nothing to do with the first two.
That's kind of how Halloween movies go, really.
Well, I mean,
But-
but it doesn't even have Jason, or not fucking Jason, Mike Myers in it. It definitely doesn't have Jason Voorhees in it.
You just like pissed off the entirety of.
Oh, please. As far as I can tell, Jason Voorhees and Mike Myers are basically the same guy. Like,
Yeah,
it just,
I mean-
I've seen Friday the 13th, and I've seen the first two Halloween movies, and they basically have the same villain.
The 2009 remakes of, I think, Friday the 13th and actually both of them got remakes in 2009. I think one of them might be 2010. Either way, very close. Late 2000s, early 2010s. Those movies are weird in the sense that like you either love them or hate them because they were directed by
Rob Zombie, right?
Rob Zombie. Yeah, right.
He did the Halloween remake, at least.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, he did the Halloween remake, and I like it, but except for the fact that it just feels like it feels like Halloween 1. It feels like an expansion pack to Halloween 1, if that makes a sense.
Well, I mean, it's
in
a
sense.
remake.
Well, yeah, I guess so, but like, it's a remake to a fault. Like,
Oh, it's like too faithful to the source material, doesn't do anything new.
it explores the backstory in like the first half of the movie of how Myers came to be, the shape, if you will.
I guess it makes...
But-
They never really explain, like, why he went nuts and killed his sister.
Yeah.
Other
I
than
think-
the Donald Pleasance's character. What's that doctor's name? Dr. Loomis?
Yes, Dr. Loomis.
Have it going on multiple monologues about how
Doc-
evil he is, and there's nothing but darkness behind those eyes. You know?
Dr. Loomis's character is so absurd, but I love him for it because I feel like he's the kind of guy who would believe in aliens.
Unironically tell you
Like,
that he's seen
yeah,
a UFO.
And that the Earth is flat, which it is, obviously.
Ain't no Planet
Hey.
X coming. So what? I haven't seen any of the other Halloween movies, but I know everybody hated the newest one.
Oh my god, yeah. Jesus. The new Halloween movie. Oh god, I forgot its name already. It
Halloween
came out.
Kills, Halloween Ends, I think, were the last two.
Let me look it up. Yeah, it's Halloween Ends. Yeah, that one came out on October 14th of this year. So you know, during this month, haha, since it's still October, haha.
Yeah, it's October 31st today. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
It's National Eat Your Leftover Candy Day in Australia already.
But to call the movie shit, I think would be a compliment to Birdemic. It's worse than Birdemic. And Birdemic is bad. Really
I haven't seen
Birdemic.
Birdemic. All I've heard is that it's the sequel that the birds never got, and that it's worthy of Hitchcock's name.
It's like The Room, kind of bad.
It's
bad.
That's what I've actually heard about it. Is that it's fucking.
It's bad
terrible.
because you can laugh at it, kind of bad. Halloween Ends is just bad. It's just awful. It's a miserable experience the whole way through.
Just the boring kind of bad.
It's imagine every bad horror movie trope, but like amplified times 11.
Oh, so the first Halloween movie.
No, like imagine that, but worse.
It couldn't possibly be worse than Halloween 1 and 2. Those movies almost feel like trope-defining horror films. There's so many things in those where it's just like, I can't believe they're actually like unironically having this scene, and then they do. It's just like, hey, hey everybody, let's all wander off one at a time and isolate ourselves, even after we're concerned that there's something weird going on. Hey, did anybody ever go check on that maintenance guy who was supposed to fix the phones like 3 hours ago? What happened to that guy?
That's important, surely. Well,
I feel like characters in horror movies, that has to be a trope where once a character dies and they're not in the script anymore, the other characters just forget they ever existed.
That's moreover, going to the second topic that we totally didn't plan out for this video. Haha. It's how'd that not hit?
I don't know. I was so miffed about this I wasn't even paying attention down here.
But I'm miffed about that as well now. But the main thing is that like I feel like the Scream movies it's my favorite horror franchise because of because of how they kind of satirize that kind of cliche, I guess would be the best word.
Okay.
It's like,
well, I mean, yeah, if it's self-aware, they could probably make something good out of it.
Yeah, it's not self-aware to the point that it's like a parody, like a Weird Al song would be.
It's not Scary Movie 4.
Yeah,
with,
it's not
with topical jokes from Kevin Hart.
Yeah, no, it's nothing like that. But it's an actual, slasher movie, but the, protagonists are, I mean, they're still dumb, but like that's kind of needed for a horror movie, I feel.
Yeah, some of the characters have to be dumb. They have to make bad choices in order for the monsters to have a chance.
Yeah, but it's very self-aware to that fact that, there are these tropes like, don't go alone, or don't go wandering off on your own, never have sex.
Yep.
And like, there's a few other ones, but I forget the name of, or not name.
It's brutal, isn't it?
Oh god. But it's, why is it so funny to me?
I don't know. I found it weird that it was a musical cue that they split up by such a huge length of time.
Right.
But
yeah, that's part of why it's funny.
You're even more tickled by it than I was.
But it's moreover like it has comedy, and every movie has its own kind of like satire it's going for, specific satire in horror movies. Like
for Scream they're making fun of like particular contemporary movies.
kind of, but it's more like specific. Like they hone in on specific tropes in horror movies. Like for the first Scream, it's just the general horror movie tropes, like the ones I mentioned. With Scream 2, it's satirizing sequels to horror movies and how they're usually worse than the first movie.
Do they have a line where they say something like, "I could have sworn this guy was dead at the end of the last movie"?
Yes, actually, it's like a recurring thing, at least for the spoilers for a 20-year-old movie, 30-year-old movie. God, fuck. Whenever the main killer, whenever they're like knocked out and they're on the ground, presumably dead, it's a very common trope for them to come back alive for one more jump scare. But again, Scream is very, very aware with that. Like one of the characters, like shoots the main shoots Ghostface, which is the name of the slasher, I guess would be.
Did you like that? I almost got it to go off like in order. It was even a little too fast.
Organ player got a little too excited there.
Fuck it, let's get to the good part. I feel like I'd like to do an exercise with you, and this was my experience with the Halloween movies, the first two at least, has been I wasn't particularly entertained by them, but I took great pleasure in remarking on how many other things had done the stuff that they did since. And the first Halloween came out in 79, was it?
78.
78, even, yeah. So it's like, it's a trend setter. It's like this, you have that same problem with, Seinfeld isn't funny. If you go back and watch Seinfeld for the first time now, it's not compelling or funny because, it turns out they established tropes that dozens of other sitcoms have copied since then, and some have even lifted entire scripts of episodes. So you watch Seinfeld now, and it's like you just feel like you've seen it all before, and it's stale.
Right.
That's what Halloween felt like to me.
Yeah.
So I was mostly entertaining myself by trying to guess which trope they were going to do next.
I can totally get that. Like, I feel the much older slasher films, Friday the 13th, like the big names that you would hear. Hey, there it is. Whenever you would think of, when you think slasher movies, you think Freddy, Jason,
and Michael,
like
right?
that.
They gotta have a normal dude name.
Yeah. And I think as a new viewer to those older films, going back, like you can appreciate them for what they, for how early they were, I feel. But you definitely feel like, yeah, I've seen this before. The this girl's gonna walk off. This scantily clad girl's gonna walk off, and then it's gonna be killed off screen, or she's gonna be the last one alive. Stuff like that.
Well, only if she's the smart virgin. She gets to be the last one alive.
Never have sex ever.
I feel like I'd like to go through with you. And how many different tropes can we find in the first two Halloween movies?
Oh, you could probably find like 200.
So there's so many. I was just saying, the TV tropes page has to be a mile long. But like you just mentioned, never have sex, because if you have sex in a horror movie, you will be killed, which is true in both of the movies. The couple that is like, and in the first one, it's so fucking weird. It's like, hey, we're gonna go over to a stranger's house because our friend is babysitting their kid, and we're going to use their spare bedroom to have sex?
It's weird.
It's like, what the fuck? And then when they show up and nobody's there, they're like, whatever, let's just have sex anyway in a stranger's house. Like, who doesn't expect us to be here? Like, there's... it's so fucking weird. And then obviously in Halloween 2, you have the whole scene with the therapy tub, which, so sexy. I was just picturing naked old men getting scrubbed down in there. The whole fucking scene. Which honestly made it a little bit more erotic.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was really hoping that when the guy came back, instead of it being Michael Myers, it would just be the boyfriend with like a medical sponge.
Gross.
But yeah, sure enough, they both died because they had sex in a horror movie. And then you also have in that same scene, the oh my god, he's right behind me, isn't he? The trope where the killer just walks up behind someone and doesn't say anything, and they just assume that they're their friend who just got killed. How many movies have done that? I feel like that's a common one.
Yeah. Or like the trope of like it's what a slasher movie does when they want to be like, don't you fucking do it. It's what they want to do when they want to be like humorous. I feel like that's like that's the humor joke of old slasher movies.
Yeah, and that one, like, in Halloween 2 at least, it got to the point of extremely uncomfortable because she was like kissing and biting on the killer's hand, and it's like,
yeah,
do you not know like your boyfriend's like glove size, or like even have a sense of like what his skin feels like, or like how did you not notice that it was a totally different person?
It's just weird, man. It's just fucking.
Anyway, I guess that's why it's a trope. But then you mentioned the one in Scream where, oh, he's definitely dead now. The trope where the villain gets, shot or stabbed or whatever, and he falls and he doesn't move, and the characters immediately let their guard down. That happens twice in the first Halloween. Both times in the house when like the kids are still around, and what's the character's name? Laurie.
Laurie Prescott.
Yeah, I keep wanting to call her. Jodie Foster, but it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Her character like stabs him behind the couch, and then immediately puts the knife down. Like, whew, that was a lot. That really drained me. And it's like, what are you doing? Even if it wasn't a psycho killer, even if it was just a normal dude broke into your house, like, you gotta either know that he's actually dead or like get out of there, or alternatively make sure he's dead if it's that kind of movie. But she does that twice. Once when she stabs him behind the couch, and once when she stabs him through the closet door. And both times she just walks like 3 feet away and sits with her back to, quote, his dead body,
Yeah, like, it's...
And as an audience member, we're supposed to be surprised that he got back up.
That's what the, it's just I think it's just music being cut off like that. It's what tickles me so much. Yeah, I'm
speedrunning the menus, which is clipping off all the little, what'd you call it, like a motif jingles for each,
yeah.
How do you know, is it called champions? Coaches? I think they're coaches.
Peggers, wait.
Peggers? That's what they're called?
No, that's not it. No.
They're they're pegging experts.
Yeah, pegging experts. That's not problematic. But
damn. I really wanted to bounce.
Boing.
That's something.
Hot stuff. Like I was saying with the Scream movies, again, spoiler for a 30-year-old film. Like the main killer Ghostface falls down to the ground after being shot like 4 times, and then someone from the back, it's like remember in those horror movies they come up and going back for one final jump scare, and when the characters just picks up the gun again and just shoots him right in the head. That's it. He's dead.
Yeah, and you know what? He's still back in the next movie.
Yeah, because
we want to make more money.
Yeah, spoiler for a 25-year-old film. It's a different person. Who could have guessed? Because the Scream movies are much more like, they have like whodunit feels to them. Like, they're like mystery thrillers.
Where you don't know who's behind the mask.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's meant to be a surprise.
Yeah. Like, You know who the killer is if you're perceptive in like the first like 20 minutes.
Because you can tell from like the red text on the script who's being written as a villain.
I guess in a way, it's not really that. It's just like because the movie likes to split people up in like groups, so nobody is there's never a time when everyone is in the same room. So
then they could all look around and go, okay, everyone who's been alone with Jack has died. Maybe we should ask him some questions.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, which I feel like it is much better than just let's split up.
Let's split up, gang.
That can search for clues.
Also, I'm not sure that Halloween. I'm sure it did some things for the first time, but like, didn't the Texas Chainsaw Massacre come out in like '75 or something?
I know Chainsaw Massacre is it predates most horror movies. I feel.
Yeah.
Of course, not like Night of the Living Dead or whatever.
Yeah. Besides the classics of like Night of the Living Dead, Psycho, and then your old horror films where the monster is a guy in a rubber suit. That's just laughable.
74.
74. Wow, yeah. So it's not like they hadn't had, gory films before.
I think Friday the 13th, or not Friday, but like Halloween was the first movie to really, not first movie, but like it was one of the more mainstream movies to actually portray blood, guts, and gore, that kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, the original Texas Chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wasn't really that bloody, or it was more disturbing than it was like gory and whatnot.
Really? Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to watch that one too because I've never seen it, but I know it's one of those historical like watermark movies.
Yeah, it's definitely like
Watershed
you don't go into it expecting like a bunch of blood, guts, and gore, that kind of thing. Well, I mean, most people do, and they're thoroughly disappointed because it's not that. It's much more tame, and it's very, very slow.
Well, yeah, it's a movie from the 70s.
Yeah.
This is the same complaint I had about The Exorcist. The movie's 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and it has 90 minutes of plot. Max.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I didn't like The Exorcist at all.
I will say that some of those horror themes, particularly like the Exorcist theme, Halloween theme, they
like the musical themes.
Yeah, they're musical themes. They're actual like themes that they play.
Yeah.
Either during the opening credits or whenever the killer's around. Some movies use them differently. Some of those are outstanding, like the Tubular Bells, the Exorcist theme, and then I don't know what the one for Halloween is called, but it's also really good.
I think it's just called Halloween main theme.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, it's just called main theme,
Yeah.
It's just called Two Brothers.
Yeah, like I think my favorite like horror movie themes would go to like Halloween and Saw, actually.
I can't hear the Saw theme in my head. How does it go? And you better be pitch fucking perfect, Eva.
Yeah, just put it on the video. Nothing will happen. It's not like YouTube's gonna demonetize.
If you don't
monetize it in the first place.
If you don't hum it so accurately that I get a copyright strike, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Oh God, I actually haven't seen the original Saw in ages, so I don't think I could remember off the top of my head.
It's been a minute. It's got I forget the actor's name. Isn't it the guy that played Robin Hood in Robin Hood Men in Tights? Isn't he like the doctor or whatever?
Is he?
I want to say he is. No, I got it. Wait. I'm trying to remember now. So the old actor from like the 50s that played Robin Hood was Errol Flynn. It's not him. It's the next one. It's the one that was in like Men in Tights, I want to say.
Carrie Ells?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Carrie Ells.
Do I have that right? Was he Robin Hood
yeah.
in Men in Tights?
You were right. Yep.
Okay, but yeah, he's one of the people. He's like a real actor, you know?
Yeah. Like, I actually, despite what the general consensus is on the series, I actually, maybe it's weird to admit it, but I do really like the Saw movies. It feels like one of the only horror movie film, like, I don't want to say trilogies because it's not a trilogy.
It's like 8 of them franchise. Now. So.
Yeah, that it doesn't get shit like by the 3rd movie. Like, Scream 3 is shit. It's awful. It tries to be satirical on like when movies. It tries to be satirical when horror movies go on for too long. But it falls into the same tropes. It tries to be satirical by doing the same things they do, but that's not funny.
Just doing it wrong in the same way isn't a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just doing it wrong. You're self-aware about it, sure, but that doesn't make it good.
Yeah. I will protest and say that the Saw movies absolutely were shit by Saw 3.
I don't know. Like,
the first one I quite liked. The second one I thought was kind of weak. And then I think from then on, they just had no good ideas left, and they had to continually go back and retcon things in order to make up more plots.
Oh yeah, the timeline in Saw is just, it's nuts.
It's obviously full of retcon.
Yeah,
there's so many things where it's like, what we didn't know is that before the event of the first movie, there was another Saw, and he sawed even sawier. And it's like, oh, okay. What?
Yeah, like, I think Saw sets out, or the future Saw movies definitely do set out what they want to do, and that's just be torture porn. Like, it's...
Yeah. Honestly, the appeal of the Saw movies after the first one is entirely weird torture porn, and the psychological horror of, oh my god, if you were in a situation where you had to either cut off your nipple or cut off a toenail, what would you do? It's so fucked up, dude. It's like, oh, okay, I don't know. This is like something for high schoolers to argue about in the locker room.
The answer is toenail, by the way. I would much rather...
Obviously. Your nipple's not going to grow back. Like, come on.
But, like, I don't know. I feel... it feels weird admitting that, but I do...
That you would cut off your toenail?
No. That I like the Saw movies. I will, however, say they don't get shit in the same way that, like, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, all those movies got, like...
They definitely get repetitive, but they do find ways to come up with new and horrifying kills, which is really what you're watching for.
Yeah, that's why you're watching it. But with Friday the 13th, whatnot, those movies just get bad. They're just awful by, like, the 3rd, 4th movie. Although I will, however, say that the Child's Play series, it doesn't actually get that awful.
Those are the ones with Chucky the doll, right?
Chucky, yeah.
I've not seen a single one.
They get really fucking weird, but like
good weird or no?
One of them's called Chucky Seed, and I'll just let you. I'll let you think about that one.
Chucky C?
No, Chucky's Seed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
The creepy doll had a kid. The creepy doll ejaculated on someone.
Kind of.
The creepy doll started a farm.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch that.
But, hey, I mean, Chucky got married. You know, things happen.
It's Chucky's progeny.
Oh God. I was, like I said, they get weird. Definitely.
Something for a little bit of a slide, but I didn't get it.
They definitely do get weird, but I don't think any of them are outright awful because they kept the same director. through like all of
Really?
it. Yeah, like it's not like other horror franchises where they like change director or producer every like 2 films or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think John Carpenter was only really attached to the first Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Even though they got back Jamie Lee Curtis and Don Pleasant.
Yeah. And because of that, it feels like they don't ever... They have a direction of what they want to do with the series. Instead of just like...
There's a vision.
You know, yeah, there's an actual, you know... There's progress with each film instead of like...
Yeah, like with Chucky's Seed, you know, there's the vision of a puppet horribly ejaculating on someone like some bad Jeff Dunham bit.
It's I still feel that's better than, you know, like something like Jason X, where it's like Jason goes to space. That's the plot. Like Jason somehow turns out to be in a cryogenic chamber, and he's in like it's an aliens movie. It's an alien movie. That's it, but with Jason instead. That's like, I feel like those kind of movies are the worst because like it just feels directionless. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's like clearly the movie's made for 15-year-old boys, but maybe you shouldn't have let them write the script.
Right, yeah. It's like Jason goes to space. Yeah, okay, that's you can make that work. There is one cool thing about Jason X is that it had one of the coolest kills I've ever seen in a slasher movie, and that's like like Jason dips someone's head in like this kind of ice substance that turns like freezes their head, and then he smashes it against a table, just shattering their head into pieces.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
Like liquid nitrogen or something?
Yeah, like liquid nitrogen.
Neat.
That's kind of cool. That's it. That's no pun intended.
That's how Nile Red disposes of the bodies.
That's the only thing I like about like, you know, Jason X. It's just, I don't know, man. I just wish they did something more besides, like I said, Jason goes to space. That's the plot.
After I didn't even watch beyond the first Friday the 13th movie because I was so upset that they killed an actual snake for that one scene.
Yeah.
Just like,
I don't blame you.
And I can't imagine any of the movies after that have anything resembling the twist that the first one has. Still.
I mentioned it a few times, but the Nightmare on Elm Street series, another, you know, classic series, but I feel that one also suffers from the same thing that Scream did, is that Friday the 13th always had like a sort of like, you know, humorous edge to it, just because Freddy Krueger would like crack a few jokes every now and then.
You mean Nightmare on Elm Street always did?
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
You said Friday the 13th always had humor.
Oh, did I?
So because Krueger's, he's...
Yeah. I meant Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, yeah. I got you.
Like, it always had a... God, I'm dying. I talked about Freddy and now I'm dying.
Is that how it works? Is it like the... What's the one where you have to watch the VHS tape in order to be killed? The Ring?
The Ring?
Is it The Ring?
Yeah, I think it's The Ring.
I haven't seen that one. I do know that if a demon was trapped in a VHS tape today, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, that's way worse than being stuck in an old book. Like, somebody might translate an old book, but like a crappy 90s VHS tape? Nah.
Now, what you want to be is like haunting inside like vinyl. That's how you get
Yeah,
it.
you want to be haunting some rare vinyl.
Vinyls are back in fashion, so...
Yeah, that's the last one down there. This level sucks. I didn't like this level in the first version of the story mode because it's just not designed for Peggle. It's pretty clear these letters each take like 3 balls to clear because there's no way to get a peg to bounce through all of those spaces.
Fever.
I got a fever. And the only prescription is that I made this joke in the last episode. I feel like we only touched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the tropes in the Halloween films.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, another one I like is when a character says, or usually it's a kid, will say, "Oh my God, there's a monster outside," and the parents are like, "Shut up, Jimmy! You're eating too much. You're reading those fucking comic books, saying this stupid shit to us. There's no monsters outside. Go back to bed." You know,
and they don't check.
What's that?
Or if they don't check.
Oh, they
outside,
don't even check. Like usually they don't
Or-
even humor the kid.
Yeah, or if they do, when they look outside, it's like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Ooh, that's almost
Ooh.
two different tropes where somebody says, "Oh my God, there he is," and then when everyone else looks, they're suddenly gone. And that's almost like a second trope on top of them just not believing the kid.
Actually, that reminds me. I watched the movie It Follows.
Oh, yeah.
pretty recently.
What did you think?
I I liked it, but it kind of took that kind of trope where like someone notices something and it's like, oh, do you see that? It's like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? You're fucking weird. But it makes that the plot of the movie in a sense.
Yeah, one of the things is that the only people that can see the monster are those that are affected by its curse.
And it's a deadly STD, in the sense that curse is passed on through sex, which I find kind of fitting, honestly. Considering
Hey, don't have
horror
sex
movies.
in a horror movie. We
Yeah.
just talked about this.
Don't do it. And I watched it. I watched it a few days before Halloween, and it's like it went for less of a scary movie and more of just like it builds up tension, and that's what I really like about like some horror movies, that it's the tension that fills up. It's not remotely scary in the sense that like it's not going to jump scare you. Like I think there's one jump scare in the entire movie, and it's like, it's a fake out jump scare.
Oh,
like,
that's another one.
Yeah, that's another one.
The fake jump scare, and bonus points if it's a cat.
Why a cat?
Because that's done. It's been done in so many movies where they're building up to a jump scare, and it's coming because like they change the music and like you're getting ready, and then the in Halloween 2, it's the repair guy or the security guy, whatever his job is, opens the dumpster and a cat jumps out, and it's the perfect jump scare because you get to have something come flying at the screen and go, "Meow," and everyone pisses their pants in the theater.
I feel like things like that are made for things like theater and whatnot, and when you bring that to like a home movie, it gets a little worse.
Honestly,
Especially-
I think you should get a point off if you have a jump scare in your horror film, and it should be 2 points off if it's a cat. Like fake jump scares aren't satisfying, and they're not like funny because they're never the end of the scene. The guy always immediately goes, "Oh, it was just a big black pussy," and then he wanders off and gets killed by the actual monster immediately after, without fail.
Yeah, and that's definitely the trope with that. Like, I've never really liked jump scares in any kind of film. Hell, even like creepypastas, if you creepypastas.
I've never been a big fan of creepypastas, but I do enjoy. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like in a comic form. And the premise is, it's a monster that only attacks people that like have read about it. And by the end of the comic, it becomes increasingly clear that you're supposed to be attacked next because you're reading the comic about it. Like that's the gotcha. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I've heard about that. But
I mean, I just spoiled the ending, but like,
oh no,
I can't explain it at all without talking about that because that's what it's about.
I I kind of have a love-hate relationship with creepypastas. Is that like, I like looking back on some of them and being like, yeah, this was shit. Why did anyone like this? But some of them I feel like were ruined with time, or not really with time, but like with oversaturation and how people took them. Like
Did you see Jay Station's video where he called Herobrine at 3 a.m.?
No. That's a perfect example. Like Herobrine.
I don't know if that exists, but it probably does. He may have actually made that video.
I feel like I've seen it, like on my recommended.
Yep.
And it's just like, I like the idea of Herobrine's kind of cool. Like a single player asterisk game having some sort of secondary player in it. That's, you know, not anyone you know, and just it's just kind of there. I really do like that. But it's when they started adding the lore to it that's when just kind of...
Herobrine has lore? I thought the whole shtick was you're playing Minecraft and you see another person in your world and you're like, what?
Yeah, that's like the core of it. That's how it started. But then they started things like, you know, oh, it's Notch's dead brother. It's like,
what?
Yeah,
yeah, he died testing fog distance settings. The only time Herobrine comes out is when you have your render distance down to one chunk. You excited for the next Minecraft Let's Play I'm going to
do? You were making one?
I don't have one planned or anything, but honestly, it's just a matter of time before I play Minecraft again. It's like late stage syphilis. It just keeps coming back. I can't get it out of my brain.
You should do a LP of like old Minecraft. Like go back to the launcher and like play an old version of Minecraft.
Elder Minecraft, is that what you called it?
I call it an old version of Minecraft. But Elder Minecraft, that's a sick ass title.
Just fucking old. Just play the first version I ever played on, which was Alpha 0.9, I think.
I remember the first video made on it because that's what made me get Minecraft. Like, God, how many years ago was that now?
Shout out in the comments if you found out about Minecraft through my videos.
Because I remember you mentioning it in the first video. It's like, oh, this is a new game that like I was told about. It's like, like my friend mentioned this to me. I thought it was kind of cool, so I'll check it out. It's like, 11 years ago. Holy shit.
Yep. I mean, Minecraft had its official release on the same day as Skyrim, right? 2011?
Same year?
11/11/11, I think, is when they both came out.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a date with a lot of the same numbers, so people are like, let's do a thing on that day.
Minecraft release date, let's find out. November 18th, 2011.
Oh, really? It came out after? Okay.
Yeah.
All I remember is Notch flipping that big lever and finally switching his Twitter account over to full incel.
That's a take.
Hasn't he like become known as like a famously asshole guy now?
I haven't really kept up to date with it, considering I just don't care.
Take my word for it. He made his $2.5 billion and then realized he could say whatever the fuck he wanted and no one would ever be able to tell him no again.
You know what? Sure. Like, you make $2.5 billion? You can quit, you can retire and never work a day of your life again.
Yeah, like how are you going to cancel a guy who has $2.5 billion?
Yeah, it's like, you know, people, especially with to date this video, with Elon Musk buying Twitter recently. Yeah, it's like people are trying to dig up things he did in the past. Like, dude, the guy's worth like almost $300 billion.
You're not gonna cancel a billionaire. He doesn't fucking care what public opinion thinks. You can pay people to like him, basically. Yeah, it's not like you're gonna get him fired from his job. It's Papa John was just low enough, was just not important and rich enough. He was still in the cancelable space. But fucking Elon Musk? Sorry.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
he
like,
literally gets like thrown into space, we're just gonna be stuck with his ass.
yeah, it's like,
Buy more
oh,
Dogecoin, kids.
yeah, invest.
Invest.
It, it won't.
I don't know if you could characterize buying Dogecoin as investing.
Well, it's more burning.
Waste your money on a meme.
Yeah. God, just like I remember seeing this one like Twitter post of like, it's like, man, someone tweeted at Elon Musk. It's like, how much Dogecoin are you holding on to? And he replied with like, oh, I'm holding on to nothing. And it's just like, and it's just the second image. It's just the image of Dogecoin just dropping.
It's just a stock chart.
Yeah, it's a stock chart.
Nice.
And it's like relatively, stable. And then the same day that tweet came out.
Have you seen the charts of it from when he was on SNL?
I have not.
Oh my god. His SNL appearance was so fucking terrible it managed to make a cryptocurrency worth less.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. I think that's because he had hyped up Dogecoin so much prior to that, or as people call it today, artificially inflated the price of Dogecoin so much before that, and then like his SNL appearance was going to supposedly like make it go up even more, according to him, I think. But then the SNL sketches were all so fucking terrible that it actually made the price go down. So everyone was like, "Oh no, he's an idiot."
He's a dumbass.
Damn it. Do you know he didn't actually found Tesla? Everyone's like, oh, how did Elon Musk make his money? It's like, oh, he founded Tesla. Electric cars, that's cool. No, he fucking didn't. He paid the founders of Tesla extra when he bought the company to buy the title founder. I shit you not. He's actually rich because his dad owned a diamond mine, or no, sorry, an emerald mine in South Africa during apartheid.
If there's ever a way to get rich.
Yeah. That would be it.
Yeah,
Literally
that would
owning a mine, a gemstone mine. So yeah, maybe I'll get my investment advice from someone else.
Who would have thunk that the billionaire has more money than sense?
More dollars than cents, you mean?
Oh, shut up.
I thought you were gonna take that one. I thought that was a self setup for the spike.
No, how low do you think of me? God damn.
People make bad jokes for YouTube content. It wouldn't be the worst thing somebody's done for a YouTube video.
Yeah, well,
that would be hanging out with a dead body.
In
a forest in Japan.
Yeah.
You know the guy.
Okigahara.
We all remember.
Yeah. Okigahara.
Is that even the worst thing? Wasn't there a family that was like abusing their children for views?
I mean, I believe so.
I think there were a few actually.
Which one?
Now that would be interesting. Trying to find the YouTuber or YouTube video that has done the worst thing for views that hasn't already gotten canceled for it. Like the one that's somehow gotten away with it.
I'm trying to think of anything. Does Onision count for existing?
Probably.
And any one of his videos? Really?
Honestly, it's kind of a catch-22 because if they haven't gotten canceled for it, you probably haven't heard about it. So like...
Yeah, I mentioned Onision because like he's definitely been canceled, but nothing has come of it. There was, oh god, there was like a Chris Hansen what is it?
To Catch a Predator?
Like he was doing an investigation. That's the word. Chris Hansen actually did an investigation, and then that went nowhere because Chris Hansen's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it turns out he just worked for NBC when they did Dateline. He wasn't actually like a pedophile catching expert.
Yeah, it's like he has no relation with the law.
Yep.
Dateline just kind of set him up with that, so he couldn't do anything if he wanted to. He just went to Onision's house, knocked on his door,
Just hoping that having Chris
Yeah,
Hansen ask him to take a seat would be enough for him to start confessing.
Yeah, that's it. Like
That's a
he waited
power
to-
move right there. Holy shit, that's a power move.
He genuinely went up to his door, knocked on it a few times, waited like 30 minutes, and left. because you know, Onision may be a what's the word? A prick? Not a good person.
But he knows not to answer the door when it's Chris Hansen.
Yeah, he knows not to answer the door when, you know, they have a camera crew. They have a camera crew, too. They were filming his house, like, point blank. You just have to look out the fucking window and just see Chris Hansen out there with his camera crew behind him.
Looking irritated.
Yeah, looking irritated at his door. It's like, anyone knows not to answer that. He
like,
legally cannot make
even if you were innocent of all possible crimes, you still don't answer the door when that's who's outside. Like, nobody is showing up to your house with a news crew to ask you nice questions and compliment you on your life choices.
It's just, and it turns out the people he was working with too were mishandled evidence badly. Like the evidence that they could have done something with was mishandled and just like, you know, put on a flash drive.
For that YouTuber or for To Catch a Predator?
For the YouTuber Onision.
Because I know for To Catch a Predator, some of those people, they like actually had proper like documented evidence and such, and went to jail for like years. Others ended up on probation or got a warning, and some of them they fucked it up enough that they didn't really get any like legal ramifications. It was just the fact that they were on To Catch a Predator ruined their lives, and that was enough.
Yeah, like I feel like things like To Catch a Predator worked really because in the first few seasons
it did not work.
Well, I mean,
people showed up on the show who had watched it, and there was one guy when Chris Hansen comes out, the guy recognizes him, and he's like, "Oh."
Like I mean that more of the sense that like if your name was on To Catch a Predator, you're kind of fucked. Like, you know, especially like here in Japan, it's like if you're arrested for any reason at all, you're never getting a job. Your life is done.
Yeah, you get put in the busted papers.
Yeah, you should kill yourself.
Oh my god, I don't know about that. You could just move to China or something.
I guess. I'd kill myself.
Maybe New Zealand.
But I would kill myself, but that's just me.
You're really not made for prison, huh?
No, not really.
You wouldn't shank somebody in the showers? Even if they stole your ramen packs?
Oh, okay, yeah, someone's dying today.
I know that like 80% of your diet now is ramen, so I can't imagine what it would be like if you went to prison.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the thing is, it's like they gave me like shit food, and it's like, you know what? It's either I can live off this, I've eaten worse, or I can just not eat. I'm used to that.
I'll just drink the blood of my enemies. Oh, come on. Oh. In this level, I need you to give me something. Like, I'm not getting it vanilla. I need a little luck here. Yeah, alright, let's try Zen, because when you're not good, maybe the game is.
Maybe the game will take pity.
Ideally, you want to get a hole in this ring, and then have the ball fall in over here, and have it just ride along like an elevator here, like a slinky going downstairs, and just get this whole ring in one go.
Ideally.
But I'm not lucky enough to just have that happen on command, so... Let's see if we can get Zen enough to have it happen. No. Not quite.
Could have been worse. Could have been better.
Yeah, see, now there's like random holes all through this, so even if I can get it where I want it, it's not going to ride for very long.
Hey!
Hey! Let's see if I can get a long one going like this. Come on. Yeah, yeah, this is what I wanted.
The game works.
Hooray.
Oh.
We got a free ball. Can't complain. It's one of the best things about working from home, honestly.
The free ball?
Free balling.
Oh.
I don't have to wear pants to meetings, much less underwear.
I mean, free ball. Oh, that's what you meant.
Hey, she got there.
Yeah, I definitely got there. That's... Why didn't I think of that? What were you thinking of that?
I'm always thinking of free balling. I had to when I was in the Boy Scouts, we used to sing it as a parody of "Free Falling" by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, because the chord progression for "Free Falling" is like 2 chords over and over.
Yeah.
So we could play it, which is what I'm saying there. All right, what am I using the wrong champion? Help me out here, Eva. I gotta beat this level so we can finish this video.
It's gotta be the dragon.
Just keep cutting the music off as fast as possible.
I'm thinking dragon because I forget his name.
Lord Fireass? I mean Cinderbottom?
Yeah. Because like you can kind of like just kind of wait for it to be in a spot like that and just ignore taking the conveyor belt. Just kind of blast. It got a blast.
God. Jimmy Neutron's animation is so fucking upsetting these days.
Right?
Like it's just creepy and like weird.
It's very much that early 2000s. I almost said CGI. That's not it.
I mean, it is. It's like
yeah, it is CGI. Bad.
Bad CGI. But I guess it's bad 3D animation.
Yeah.
Like I get that it's a TV show, but it looks worse than Toy Story, and Toy Story came out like 15 years before the show started airing.
And I mean, to be fair, the human characters in Toy Story 1 were
fucking creepy. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They weren't the best.
It does really work for Sid though. It just makes him that much more uncomfortable. But the problem is, like, I feel that way with early CG, and I feel that way with claymation. So the whole time I'm watching like Wallace and Gromit, I'm just like, oh, Wallace, stop. Why are you like this?
Stop looking like that.
Stop moving like that.
You know, on the topic of the scary things, and since it's Halloween, I'm recording this.
Yes, today is October 31st.
Yep. It wasn't Cinderbottom. Yep, that's it. Cat's it.
We're going back to the Anka zone.
Wow, alright. You know, that song is good. It's just a shame it's attached to.
You really can't enjoy that remix without people thinking that you're some kind of fucking pervert.
Don't you love it when like memes do that? They ruin something that's like perfectly... It's something you liked, and then it's just like, now you can't escape that feeling whenever you partake in that like song or video or whatever. Show. Yeah,
so, some of them are permanently tied to the memes they become associated with. Like Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. And it had a resurgence on TikTok earlier this year.
I feel like I remember you talking about that at some point.
Maybe.
I brought up horror movies because have you ever watched a movie called Coraline?
No, I have not. Isn't that a Tim Burton film?
Yes. I highly recommend it. Since you know, it's,
I saw Nightmare Before Christmas and I saw The Corpse Bride, so I think I can basically guess the whole plot.
Yes. I'm putting you on the spot here. Come on.
Oh, you want me to guess?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what I've actually seen about the movie. Okay, so Coraline is, well, you know what? She's kind of a loner. She's an outcast. She doesn't have very many friends. But you know, she has this passion. I don't know what the fuck it is. Something that she's good at that she likes to do. But nobody appreciates that talent of hers. And I don't know. She there's a love interest. She's got to be. She's in love with somebody, and they go to. I don't know. They go to the land of the dead or something, and then her special talent ends up being useful at the end of the movie. How close was I?
Not even.
Come on.
You were right about the part that she's a loner, but that's just because she lives in a place that looks like London.
Looks like London.
Yeah.
All right. What is the actual plot to Coraline?
Coraline lives in the most depressing area ever. It's overcast all the time. It's London, you know.
Mm-hmm. London calling.
It's not actually London. It might not be, but either way, it's like a really depressing place. Her parents are always at work or doing something else.
But one day,
you know,
a giant peach lands in her yard.
That's not it.
Or grows in her yard. And she has to get her friend, the barber with scissor hands, to help cut up the peach so that all the townspeople can eat it.
Her name isn't James.
Oh, damn, you're right.
But she, in her room, she finds this, like, she peels back this, she...
Yes. She enters the chalk zone?
Yes, kind of. She peels back this, like...
I should have gone with the Christmas land metaphor instead of the... Oh, are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Is it going to happen? It might happen. I think it's going to happen. Yes! Alright, this is it. This is our chance. We can't fuck this up, Eva.
I'm silenced in shock and awe, but
I got in without even making a hole too, so we're gonna get the whole thing. Both of the little triangles. This is gonna be amazing. This might be my highest scoring shot of all time. Everybody pay attention.
This is how a master plays Peggle.
Or we're gonna be here forever because I've created a loop. Okay, not good.
Oh, there it goes.
You're about to witness the feats of a pegging master. Oh my god, the sound effects are different.
Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
52 pegs.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, now don't fuck this up.
Either way, she finds this hole in her room. Don't say it. I know you're thinking it.
How old is she?
It's not a glory hole. But it goes to like a different world where
it doesn't rain all the time.
Where it doesn't rain all the time, but it's like she lives with like better versions of her parents, essentially, at first. And that's what it seems like at first. She has everything she wants to in that area, in that zone, in the alternate reality.
The chalk zone?
Like it comes. Yeah, zone, sure.
Not the Anka zone.
You know, shut the fuck up.
You said it. I had suggested she went to chalk zone, and you were like, no, not that one.
Oh, God. And,
should I go for the full clear?
The FC? Yeah, absolutely. FC 100%.
Oh, this is going to result in us not winning.
Don't fuck it up.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Fuck!
Oh, no. No.
This is the worst.
What are you doing? Oh. Oh, no. Okay, you can get it if you just go for one at a time.
All right. Oh, I gotta get the FC though, right? I can't just shoot the ball. I have to ricochet off this pink one. I have to get the full clear.
You gotta.
I can't not. All right, let me. Oh no! Yes! Yes!
Perfection.
Ultra Extreme Fever!
Yeah.
It's not even a particularly good score.
No.
Under 400k. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Watch Coraline.
Oh, I was laughing so hard, I'm going to start coughing.
Ultra Extreme Fever.
You never had faith. You gotta have faith. Reinfeld will
did
get
it
us
because-
there with the first 8 notes of Toccata and Fugue in D minor.